And I don't want to hear that he's a passionate guy. I don't want to hear his emotions got the best of him. You're a professional, man. And you're out there, you're not supposed to show your teammates up.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey. Today's episode of Locked On Yankees is brought to you by Tax Network USA. Did you know that it's never too late to resolve your tax issues with the IRS? Don't wait. Reduce your tax debt and get help from a team of licensed tax professionals. Call 1-800-549-1000 or visit tnusa.com/lockedon. With me, as usual, is my co-host, Brian McKeon. Brian.
I feel indifferent about the weekend.
Yeah. I mean, it could have gone worse, right?
Some parts were good. Some parts weren't good. I don't know how exactly I feel afterwards.
It was basically like this, right? Because they had a blowout. Yankees had a blowout. They had another blowout. Yankees had another blowout. It's just very weird series, but we'll get into it. Before we get started, don't forget, subscribe to the podcast on whichever podcasting platform you prefer. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, like our videos, hit the bell so you're notified when those videos go live. So the Yankees have a much needed off day on Monday, and honestly, us too. So we're looking ahead to the 6-game homestand against the Reds and the Red Sox, because the schedule doesn't get easier for the Yankees. It's also Minors Monday. We'll be giving you some updates about some of the players down on the farm. But first, let's discuss the last 3 games of that series against the Blue Jays in Toronto.
Well, the needed off day, for sure. I mean, Major League Baseball, I think it's like 3 games going on tomorrow, too, which is very strange.
Apparently, everyone needs a day off, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The game, Friday, it was a little bit of a tease. Like, you left that game thinking, oh, did they find something? Did it click back? Because you've seen teams go on like ruts before and then like win the World Series. I mean, you've seen in football, the Kansas City Chiefs seem to go on like a 3-game losing streak every year, and then Pat Mahomes is in the Super Bowl again. So You do see good teams like struggle and then figure things out. But this felt different. For some reason, that game I left it thinking like, oh, I felt a lot better. Like I left that. When you get into a fight with your girlfriend and you think the relationship's over and you're all stressed out, and then all of a sudden like things are better and you're like, oh, okay. Like everything got fixed. And that's how I felt on Friday. I was like, oh, it clicked. It's all good. My stress was not worth it. That's how I felt. And then they come out on Saturday and give you that dud again. So it was a very conflicting weekend, at least for me personally. I liked that Gleyber appeared to wake up, but then when you take into account what happened on that game on Friday, I left feeling confident they had figured things out, but I also left really aggravated with Marcus Stroman. And I know you've got an opinion on this. You know that I've got an opinion on this. I do want to put this out forward before anything, and we said this prior to the season. Marcus Stroman does have a reputation in this league. Now, he's been a good soldier since he's gotten to the Yankees, so I can't say anything bad about him so far. But that's not going to allow me to not remember what happened previously in his career. Like, I do follow the rest of the league. I did see how he treated reporters in Toronto. I did see how the rumors of what came out about how he was in the clubhouse with the Mets. Not exactly known as the best teammate, not exactly known as the best guy in the clubhouse over the years. And I'm sorry, you watch those highlights back, he straight up showed up Gleyber Torres. That's what he did. And if you saw the first highlight when he had the first meltdown on the mound, and you watch that highlight, there wasn't a misstep in the double play. The ball wasn't hit that hard. Volpe got rid of it in time. Gleyber made a hard throw. He didn't make a lazy throw. And that was it. And if you look back at the highlight, what they mentioned on the broadcast right afterwards, that was the fastest speed down the line that Vlad has run all year. So when you take all those things into account, and then Marcus Stroman still with the throw the GD ball, it wasn't necessary. Right. And I don't want to hear that he's a passionate guy. I don't want to hear his emotions got the best of him. You're a professional, man. And you're out there, you're not supposed to show your teammates up. As much as Gleyber has struggled, as much as he has struggled to get things going this year, he hasn't been bad in the field. He struggled with the bat. His fielding has been just fine. It hasn't been a Gold Glove level, but it hasn't been bad. And I'm sorry, like that's unnecessary. It's embarrassing to watch. So that I don't know how you felt on it. I'm sure you have a take on it too, but we've seen Marcus Stroman pull this kind of stuff for a while, and around the league, and this to me was just so unbelievably uncalled for.
Now, is it bad because he screamed while he did it, and that he yelled toward them? Because is it just as bad when someone doesn't make a play behind Gerrit Cole and he pouts and throws his hands up at the player? Because we've seen him do that a couple of times. Like, was it worse because Stroman vocalized how
I do think
feeling?
so.
Okay.
I do think so. And the Gerrit Cole thing too, when he puts his arms up, it's not the right word, but I think you get what I'm saying here. It's more subtle. It's a quick reactionary, oh, you should have caught that. But it's not screaming, come on, get rid of the ball, and then the throwing of the rosin. Why do you got to make a scene? And then when they get back in the clubhouse, mind you, it was a 3-run inning. He didn't give up 9 runs. He gave up 3 runs. And he gets in the clubhouse, and mind you also, he gets in the dugout after the bases were loaded and only gave up 3 runs. Pretty solid way to get out of that inning. He should be confident in himself. Gets back in the dugout and has a meltdown like a 2-year-old. Like a complete meltdown. Throws the hat down, screaming, cursing over a double play where Vlad just ran his butt off and beat it out. It was again and again. We've been very kind to Stroman on this show. We haven't killed him. He's been very good for the Yankees. He's had a great year so far. But this is stuff that you've seen around the league with him, really, in every destination he stopped at. And I think just seeing this, it just upset me. It really did. Like,
but isn't it good that he came out after the game and said something about it instead of not speaking to the reporters? Because there have been some guys in baseball who like refuse to speak after the game. They leave the clubhouse. Like, at least he kind of like was like.
And that, I'll tell you, I think that has a lot to do with the culture the Yankees have built, where he feels like he has to speak on it. He feels like he has to, show that he's accounting for it, which is a good thing. Because teams that don't have a strong clubhouse, the guy just won't speak on it. He'll disappear. Mm-hmm. And you saw, and after he had the meltdown in the dugout, Judge went over to him and spoke to him, and you could tell by the inflections and the facial expressions, Judge was kind of saying, "Hey man, I know it's frustrating. I know you're pissed, but like you can't be doing that. You can't be showing up your teammates. We're kind of struggling here. It's been tough. We've lost 5 in a row. You can't be, showing up your teammates like that." And you hope it got through to Stroman, but you don't like seeing that kind of stuff. But it woke the bat up. That later that inning, Gleyber homered. It did wake their bats up. So I mean, I don't know. I see this question you put in the screen here. Are Gleyber and DJ back? And I look at it more like Gleyber has the more potential than DJ. I hate to say I've kind of given up on DJ being back.
I don't know. I feel like DJ came back too quick. I think his foot was still bothering him because he's starting to hit the ball harder and farther now. And he doesn't look, like he's not, because we were talking about it last week, how he just could not hit balls out of the infield. And now he's hitting balls to the wall. So balls to the wall. So, I don't know. Like, some of these guys rush back before they're supposed to because they really want to play. And they don't do as well because they're still like, I feel like his foot was still bothering him. And I think it was. So maybe he's waking up.
I hope that's the truth.
I don't expect him to be DJ LeMahieu of 2019. I expect him to be the DJ LeMahieu of the second half of 2023 after Sean Casey worked with him and he started hitting the ball again. I'm not expecting him to do what he did in 2019, but I'm expecting him to at least contribute to something. And I think maybe something woke up there. And that would be nice.
I'd agree with you. Something about the injury history and him coming back, like Gleyber's not hurt. Gleyber just has to kind of figure things out. I also think too, like there is that extra level of motivation in a contract year. I think that means a lot to guys. Like I think they do feel that, and especially Gleyber, who hasn't really signed to be. Gleyber hasn't made mega bucks in the league yet. This is his chance. This is his first chance. And he's got time to turn it around, but you need guys like that to turn it around on this team, right? Because it feels like the lineup is getting shorter and shorter, especially when that Soto news came out where you didn't know if he was hurt. He was going for tests. He might have been hurt. He might have not been hurt. You didn't really know. that really it stuck in my head for a while, where I was worried. Like, is he hurt? Is he not hurt? Because if Soto goes down, they're screwed. Like, because they're already looking short as it is. If you shorten this lineup anymore, it's gonna be non-existent. So, you need guys to start figuring it out. And it looked to me more like Gleyber was figuring it out. But I agree with you. DJ's hitting the ball harder. It's what you want to see. He's driving it a little more, and that's what you need to see out of him. Even if he's hitting into outs, I need to see him driving off his back foot, which he hasn't been doing for a while.
Yeah. Quickly, we have to talk about Judge.
I say we move that to tomorrow, and I was going to bring that up. I say we move it to tomorrow because I like what you did in our rundown. We'll move the curtain back a little bit. In the rundown, you compared his season to other great seasons that we've seen in the last couple of years. I want to find more great seasons and compare what he's doing to those seasons.
We can do that.
Because I think there's a lot to be said about what he's doing and the historical pace that he's doing it at. That I think we should address.
Okay, we'll do that.
So stay tuned for tomorrow. We're going to talk about how this is a quote straight from Stacey. How bonkers Judge is.
I know. What a word. Anyway, so all right. Coming up, we're going to go around the minors and let you know what's going on there. But first, don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on our videos on YouTube, hit the notifications so you know when our videos go up. Also, reply to the pinned comment on our videos Monday through Thursday. If you want your questions answered for Fan Mail Friday, we do it every week. And Brian did it by himself on Friday, did a very good job. Well done.
Hope you all enjoyed it.
Yeah. And you can join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club if you want top priority on Fan Mail Friday. You get to be in segment 1. How exciting. You'll get texts from us. You can text us questions in the Insiders Club, and there's a 14-day free trial. And thanks to the new subscribers, I see you. I see you when you sign up. So coming up next, it's Minors Monday.
PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps, on PrizePicks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. You can now win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks. With as little as 4 correct picks, you can turn $10 into $1,000. And with the finals over, the hoops action doesn't stop on PrizePicks. Women's basketball is heating up, and with stars like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese looking to make names for themselves, alongside greats like Brianna Stewart and Naja Wilson, you can win up to 100 times your cash watching these girls ball out. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code one word LOCKEDONMLB on PrizePicks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. And Locked On Yankees is also sponsored by Tax Network USA. Here on Locked On Yankees, we pride ourselves on getting you the latest news for your team, whether it's the offseason, the draft, spring training, or the playoffs. It's year-round. You know what else is year-round? Collection season, unfortunately. And just because tax season is over, it doesn't mean the IRS will stop coming after you for unfiled taxes. The IRS can garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, and even seize your property. And don't let the IRS target you. Let the licensed professionals and tax experts at Tax Network USA go to bat for you. With over 14 years of experience and an A-plus rating by Better Business Bureau, Tax Network USA has saved their clients over $1 billion in tax debt. Whether you owe taxes, have complicated matters that require tax planning, or finally hit that parlay this season that needs help correctly filing, call 1-800-549-1000 or visit tnusa.com/lockedon. See the link in this episode description below. And welcome back to Locked On Yankees. Locked On Sports Today is a free 24/7 sports streaming channel programmed for you every day to bring you the biggest stories without all the noise. Locked On Sports Today brings you can't-miss analysis, opinions, and news streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And don't forget that you can catch every pitch of the Yankees' hometown broadcast with SiriusXM. Just download this XXM app and search the word Yankees. I almost stumped there. I almost pulled a Stacey with the SXM and I almost tripped over, but I didn't fully, so it doesn't count.
I have not done that in a while.
It's been a while, but if you pull the curtain back, there was a period of time where we really struggled with the transition.
I could not do it. I could not say SXM, and now I can't stop saying it. Oh,
now you figured it out.
Yeah, one quick thing before we go into Miners Monday. So I went away, as you all know. I was just away for a couple days. I was up in enemy territory in Boston, Massachusetts, and the hotel I was staying at was across from some sort of like, I don't know if it was like a convention center or something, and they had a sign that changed every like 2 minutes. And at one point, I was looking in the mirror because for some reason my sink and mirror are right up against the window. It was a weird hotel setup, and I look. And it's a sign that's showing all the Red Sox championships and talking about how great the Red Sox are. And I wanted to stick up my middle finger at it, but I didn't. But then I didn't see it again. Like they kept recycling the other stuff, and I could because I wanted to take a picture of myself doing that, and then it didn't show up again. And I thought to myself, did I imagine it?
You may have. So, I don't think you did because Boston sports fans are very proud, but you may have.
Yeah. Okay. It is Miners Monday, so what we're going to do is discuss Scranton, Somerset, Hudson Valley, Tampa. And we're going to shine the spotlight on a couple people because it's the end of the month, or actually, it's now July. The day that this show goes up, it's July 1st.
Yeah.
So June is over, and we're going to talk about some dudes. All right, Will Warren closed out what was otherwise a promising June by throwing a complete stinker on Sunday. 3 2/3 innings. He gave up 9 runs, 7 of them earned, so they weren't totally his fault, on 10 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. So the 1 walk, 6 strikeouts positive, but the rest of it not great. So he's 5-5 on the year with a 7.05 ERA.
Not what you want out of one of your top prospects, eh?
No, because he was improving a bit in June. He wasn't, Cy Young worthy, but he was doing a lot better in June than he had done in April and May, and then he closed it out on a bum note. So maybe he could pick things up in July. Oswald Peraza went 3 for 4 in Sunday's loss for Scranton. Now he's batting .216 overall with them, but he's had 2 games in a row now with 3 hits, and he's hit safely in 7 of his last 8 games. So he's slowly starting to get going.
I think, unfortunately, he's going to want to spend the rest of the year with Scranton, though. I don't envision a scenario where he's going to want to getting called up.
Yeah. Moving on to Somerset, your favorite guy, Spencer Jones, had 7 runs batted in their...
Good, get the trade value up.
Their thumping over Richmond. It was 13-3. He hit 2 home runs. 1 was a grand slam. He also had a double. And in June, he went 32 for 108, which works out to 296. He hit 7 doubles, 1 triple, 6 home runs, drove in 29 runs. He scored 19 times. He was 5 for 6 in stolen bases. He walked 10 times, struck out 44 times. So
you got to fix those strikeouts. There's a lot of strikeouts, though.
Yeah.
Like that's got to get fixed. Like that's a lot of strikeouts. And 108 at bats, that's like 60% of the time.
Yeah,
I mean, hey. Those are better numbers, improved numbers. He's had a struggling season, and I think it hasn't really been talked about. He struggled this year, but this is a positive sign. Hopefully, it pulls us into July. I still think he's a trade candidate, though.
Hudson Valley was rained out on Sunday, but here are some numbers for June from some guys that I've spoken about before. My favorite, Jared Cerna, shortstop, teeny tiny dude, batting .261. 355, 467 overall. That works out to a 129 WRC plus. That's in 318 plate appearances. He has 20 doubles, 12 home runs. He's driven in 52, has scored 48 times. And in June, he hit 276, 324, 429. So good numbers for him. But I just love that he's basically like Altuve. He's teeny tiny and can hit for power and can hit. Speaking of Altuve, did you see him get thrown out of the game on Sunday?
No, I didn't.
Oh, he had a meltdown.
Really?
Yeah, he had a meltdown. Yeah, he freaked. Yeah, he freaked out. I'm not sure of the circumstances. I just saw the video aftermath of him screaming and them having to take him out of the game. But yeah, it was something like I think maybe he tried to hit the ball and it hit off him and they called him out. I think something to do with that. And the umps were like, out, and he freaked out. It was almost like how George Brett freaked out during the Pine Tar game where the umps called him out. And
freak out.
It was it wasn't as bad as that, but like you said, you don't usually see Altuve lose his cool that, and it was kind of like, whoa, what's happening here? So I don't know. Maybe the frustrations of the year are wearing down on him, but they are improving. They're getting better because they won't ever go away, unfortunately. So Hudson Valley, like I said, rained out on Sunday. So Rock Riggio, second baseman, 225, 367, 397 overall. But in June, he hit 247, 371 on base percentage, and 457. The slugging went up. And according to the people who keep track of all this stuff, who watch him day in and day out, they're actually seeing signs of encouragement for the second baseman. So that's always good. I love his name, though. Rock Riggio. That's such a great baseball name.
It's definitely a baseball name, yeah.
Yeah. Tampa also had a rain issue on Sunday. They were supposed to play a doubleheader. One game was shortened to 6 innings, and the other one was just rained out completely. Center fielder William Montero entered the month of June, listen to this, batting 187, 255, 247 slugging. Wow. He's entering July batting 251, 304, 363. He had 32 hits in June, so that bumped his numbers. That's a good improvement.
Yeah, the slugging, though, is so low. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 363 is better than 247.
Yeah, but still, both are crazy. You don't see a lot where guys slugging is lower than their on base.
Right. That's very
strange.
Yes. Speaking of that, second baseman George Lombard Jr. hitting 229, 362, 319 in 257 plate appearances overall. He has 12 doubles, 2 triples, a home run, 26 RBIs. He has scored 28 times. He hit 239 in June. He also just turned 19 in June. So wow. He has time. He's a baby.
Plenty of time, yeah.
Yeah. Because I looked him up. I was like, he's really young, isn't he? And I saw his birthday's June 2nd, 2005. I can probably tell you what I wore on June 2nd, 2005. So my goodness. But like I said, he has time to develop. He's really young. And, his numbers are going up slowly but surely. And then the rest of the teams, like the Coast League and the development teams, they're all off on Sundays. There's not a lot of stuff to talk about there. So that was our trip around the minors for Minors Monday. How exciting.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Coming up next, the Yankees are playing 3 games against the Reds and 3 games against the Red Sox in a big homestand. And we're going to just chat about how we think the Yankees should do.
As we discussed on Friday's Fan Mail Friday, I love sports, and I love them so much. I never want them to stop. But as playoffs wind down, we get fewer games, and there aren't as much sports on TV like I want them to be. But FanDuel lets me keep the sports going whenever I want. And all I have to do is open the app and dream up bets anytime that I'm in the mood. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everybody every day, all summer long. You could bet baseball, right? Individual games, strikeout totals, hit props, same game parlays. You got Wimbledon coming. You got all the Copa America, the Euros. I mean, it's still going on, you guys. You can still do a lot of stuff on there and make a lot of cash this summer. And here's what you got to do. You got to head over to FanDuel.com/lockedon and start making the most of your summer. FanDuel, it's the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube, and now it's also available on Amazon Fire TV and the free Fire TV Channels app. Locked On Sports Today is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with local experts of Locked On, plus our national shows that are covering every league. Find Locked On Sports Today now, available on the free Fire TV Channels app, and watch this. You can catch every pitch of the Yankees' hometown broadcast with SiriusXM. Just download the SXM app and search the word Yankees. Stacey, 3-game series against the Reds, 3-game series against the Red Sox. So what are you looking for in both of these series? Reds are a middling team, but they've got some – you know what the Reds are as a team compared to a pitcher? They're a pitcher with a 4 ERA. They can beat on any game. It feels like a team the Yankees will struggle against. I'm very excited to see Ellie De La Cruz play in Yankee Stadium. It's the first time really seeing him against the Yankees. That should be exciting. But I think the Reds are not a team – like these could still be a troubling 6 games.
Sure.
Because the Reds are not a team to mess with, and the Red Sox are always a team that the Yankees struggle with, especially this year in that first series. So what are you looking for in both of these series?
I am looking for more consistency. I would like for Rodon to rebound because he's had 3 bad starts now
in a row.
And he's the middle game of the Reds series. You know, obviously there's no pitching matchups yet for the 3 games against the Red Sox. We know that it's Heel, Rodon, and Stroman against the Reds in the series that starts tomorrow. I just want Rodon to rebound because
he needs it so badly.
He was doing so well, and then he reverted back to 2023 Rodon, and that's the last thing the Yankees need. Like Cole coming back. We didn't even discuss Cole. Cole's command was awful on Sunday. Like he really,
but he figured it out.
But it was awful, and I was like, oh my god, and then he figured it out, and he looked much better. Obviously, you know, you would want him to last a little longer or not throw 90 pitches in only 5 innings, but looking a lot better. You know, the velocity was fine. The one thing I will say about this is I don't like what happened with the beat writers making it seem like Josh, what's his name?
I fell victim of it. I fell victim to it. Because don't get me started.
Is that how you say his name?
Whatever.
Majewski?
Yeah. Another pitcher no one's ever heard of that Boone had to get up and make a storyline out of. Going back to that Milwaukee game. Stacey, it's just I can't. The manager sometimes. Well, like, what was going through? Did he really need to get up and throw in the second inning?
I don't know.
Seriously, was it that pertinent? Like, and all these stadiums too have bullpens in the tunnels also, like underneath the stadium.
Yeah, like if he needed to throw, he could have done that there. He didn't have to come out into the regular.
He had
bullpen.
to do it where people can see, so and everyone can wonder about the pitcher who's 2 games back from a debilitating elbow injury to now. Like, of course, people started going crazy, right? Because Cole came out, and then if you noticed on TV, Cole wasn't in the dugout. He I guess went to the clubhouse. Maybe he had to go to the bathroom, whatever the need was. So Cole not in the dugout, not visible on the television where they're looking for him. And then you have rookie pitcher no one's ever heard of that's supposed to be able to give you length. He needed to warm up all of a sudden in the bottom of the first inning after Cole went out there. I mean, we've gone over this a million times. Sometimes it feels like Aaron Boone is just tone deaf. Like he doesn't get it. Like he doesn't see the big picture and things, which you can't imagine him being that way because he's been in baseball his whole damn life. But Stacey, how was that? No one thought this is probably a bad idea. No one thinks if we get a bullpen guy up in the second inning or the bottom of the first that people are going to talk. Like nobody thought that. Nobody considered that. Like no one in the bullpen at any point was like, "Hey, Aaron, maybe not the best idea to have this kid warm up while Cole's sort of still coming back from injury."
Right.
Maybe not the best look. Or again, if maybe he needed the innings, and that's totally like maybe it was a throw day for him, and he didn't have time to get in earlier. He got in late. Whatever the excuse is, fine. You could have done it pregame. You could have done it in the bullpens, the mounds they have under the stadium. Like it's not 1970 anymore when it was called the Sky Dome when they had one bullpen. Like they got mounds everywhere underneath the stadium. Stacey, it's just I can't
Well, the other issue I have.
Thinking?
The other issue I have, though, with the beat writers jumping on things, like it's great that we know things minute to minute, but it's also bad because what I didn't appreciate was that you jump to conclusions, and they did this with Soto too. They left out the part where Soto said he was feeling better. They just said that he was getting imaging, all this other stuff. Some of them left out the part where he said he was feeling better, which completely panicked everyone. And then someone,
you're right.
Was it Chris Kirchner? I think Kirchner, or I can't remember who it was, put in that Soto said he was feeling better. And I was like, why did some of you leave that out? You had enough room in your tweet to do it. So I don't understand this whole trying to get, they know how Yankee fans are. Why are you doing this? That annoyed me a lot. And I said something about that on Twitter. I was like, why are you pulling
I can't blame you. I can't blame you. It was just I again, you know how the media is going to react, though. You know how many eyeballs are on the Yankees. You know how many eyeballs are on Gerrit Cole after he somewhat struggled through his first 2 starts back.
Yeah.
Like, how – I don't want to blame everything on Boone, but how is the manager not thinking, hey, not a good look here? No one in the Yankee organization was like – at any point was like, hey, not a good look to have him warming up in the top of the second inning after Cole went 1 inning.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, it was so – like, I was texting all my friends. I texted you. I was like, Cole's done. And everyone was freaking out. And then all of a sudden, he's back out of the second inning. Like, what happened? And like, oh, the new kid just needed some work. He couldn't have done that any other time. Like, it was just so unbelievably frustrating. Thank God Cole's healthy and fine. But, like, was that really necessary?
I just realized I cursed. I have to cut that out. So, yeah, I'm not happy with the beat writers. I'm not happy with Boone doing what he did. Just, like, can we not? Like, really? So, again, no matchups for the Red Sox series yet. We only know Houck is pitching for the Red Sox in the first game, but everyone else is TBD, including the Yankees.
You'll see Cole in there.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know who else, yeah.
It'll probably be, I would assume, because of the order, Nestor, Cole,
and Heel.
Yeah. So Heel will be bookending the homestand.
Both series.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. So let's not do that. I was really, that angered me so much. Like, you can't leave that quote out. That was just so obnoxious. And these people, they know better not to do that and then it was like, oh, he's in the lineup. Oh, gee, I wonder why.
It creates
he
chaos.
Said he was feeling better.
Chaos creates marketing. It's the truth.
Ugh. Yeah, I guess. We have how many more games? We're halfway through the season, right? Technically.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and there's only about 3 or 4 series, 3 series left until the All-Star break, which I feel like they desperately need more than anything.
Yeah, we're getting there. We are getting there. So to recap, the Yankees salvaged a split between the Blue Jays, a very up and down series for both teams. You know, blowout. They just kept trading them all series. Cole looks better in his third start of the season. Glaber seems to be waking up. Judge is insane. We'll be talking about that on tomorrow's show. Yeah, so that's it for this show. Very exciting Monday. Hope you all enjoy your off day. I hope you all have an off day, like the Yankees have an off day, and basically the rest of baseball. Maybe are they celebrating Canada Day? Because July 1st is Canada Day. Maybe. I
don't know, but the whole league is off. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so one more time, you can join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. There's a link in the description under our YouTube videos and a 14-day free trial. You get text from us. You can text us questions. You can text us reactions to the game. Got some funny ones this weekend during the bad games of the series. Or you can leave your questions under the pinned comment below our YouTube videos to get your questions answered for Fan Mail Friday. If you're an insider, you get top priority, but we will still answer your questions on YouTube because we're good like that. So what else? Oh, yes. Let's do our favorite thing. And remember, you can catch every pitch of the Yankees hometown broadcast with SiriusXM. Just download the SXM app and search the word Yankees. So that'll do it for this Monday edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias.
And I'm Brian McKeon. We'll see you guys tomorrow.